Learning about self-concept will change the rest of your life for the better, and I can promise you that. Starting back when I was in early high school, I knew that I wanted to do something different with my life, unlike most people, and I just didn't know what it was. And what's really weird about it is I didn't have to look. One of my friends in my grade had blown up on social media, and instantly when I saw that, I was like, that's it. That's what I want. And the way that this all started was through a level of almost like hate, and it felt like jealousy for this person. I wanted to be that person. And it's very hard for me to even understand now why I wanted it so bad, but I wanted it so bad that I fully believed it was going to happen before it ever did happen. I was actually telling people before I ever posted a single video that I was going to blow up, which is not something I recommend doing, but it worked for me on a level that I can't even explain. So I ended up making 3 videos. It was 3 videos that I made on my first ever TikTok account, and the third one blew up and made me extremely viral. Ever since that day, I started posting, and I did not miss a day for years straight. And one thing that was always consistent, something that I always did that I was never told to do, it was just instinct, is that I fully believed in myself. And I don't even know if you can say belief in yourself. It's almost like I saw the future in my head. Now, obviously, I can't predict the future. I'm a normal person. But something in me saw the future so clearly, it was clear as day, that I knew it was going to work. I never even questioned it. Like, I'm not even joking. When I saw my friend blow up, I knew from that day that it was going to happen. I just didn't know how. So over time, I programmed my brain to get whatever I want out of life. And this was by pure accident. And let me explain how this happened. So I remember scrolling on my For You page on TikTok, Instagram, whatever the case may be. And these like dumb, like teenage guys who were course scammers and just doing things that made no sense. They were unethical. They were just rich. And as a young guy, when you see another rich guy who's also young, it makes you want to listen to an extent. So I never really took these people seriously that I would see online telling you that it's all possible, that everything, all of your dreams are going to come true. It's like they're just trying to sell you the course, right? And for the most part, this was the case. But for those small percent of people and the small percent of videos that I saw that were genuinely trying to motivate the younger generation of men is what changed me. And I remember consistently hearing this time and time again. You needed to believe it and you need to see it with your eyes inside of your head. So whatever you want out of life, you need to see it. You need to picture exactly what you want, because when you're chasing something and you don't know exactly what it is, what are you chasing? You don't know what you're chasing. You're shooting in the dark, and it's not going to work. So here's where it really started to take effect. I remember I went from posting every single day for like a year, maybe a year and a half, and then the account that I was posting on got banned and I lost it. And I tell this story all the time, so I'm not going to explain the story again. But after I got banned, I started this new account where I wasn't only posting once per day, I was posting 3 to 10 times a day, because I knew I wanted it that bad. Like, I seriously I saw the vision in my head of I'm never going to let this fail. So in a way, even when I lost it all and got banned, I wasn't even worried. Like, the day that I lost everything, all of the social media that I had been working on for the year, I cared a little bit, but like on the inside, I genuinely like just knew I would get it back, because that's the person I had became. I became the person who deserved it in my head. Now, obviously you're not entitled to anything, but I literally felt in my head that I deserved to have a following. And I'm not saying I'm better than any one of you. I'm not saying that by any means, but what I am saying is that you can convince yourself of who you are. And if you're delusional enough to fully believe it, and when I say fully, I'm saying all in, 100%, 0% chance of you believes that you're going to fail. That's what can make it work. Now, this is where it gets even more weird. So I remember I started going to school and people started making fun of me for what I was doing. But the funny thing about it is all these videos that I saw about working hard and being successful and making it in life all told me that it was going to be hard and people are going to hate on you. So once again, this is a really weird thing where what I happened to see, the videos that I saw similar to this one that you're watching right now, had literally prepared me for exactly what was going to happen and exactly what to do. And after I started getting that hate, in a way, it convinced me that I was doing even better than I was, which fed into this delusion in my head that I deserve this, I need to be successful at this, it's going to work, all that. And it made me develop the concept of self-concept on accident. which is why I'm making this video to tell you guys it shouldn't be on accident. It's on purpose. Maybe your opportunity that I always talk about, your luck, is stumbling upon this video and understanding how possible anything you want really is. That's what I'm trying to say. So I continued through school with this dream of making it. The thing is, the hate that I was getting in school got so bad that I almost felt like, I didn't feel like I was going to quit because I knew it was going to work, but it definitely was very discouraging and it made me not want to post certain things. And I didn't want to let that get in front of me until I got tricked again into self-concept about something else. And the videos that I started seeing on my feed now were actually about making money more so than it was about, I guess, believing in yourself and like following your dreams and all that. And in the videos that I saw, everybody would use the words 10K a month, how to make your first $10,000 in a month, how to do this. And I was like, 10K a month. And ever since I heard that number, I don't know what it was, but I thought in my head, once again, very weird, I thought I can never settle for less than that. And it was programmed into my head. The day one, the first day that I saw that first video where it was like, how to make $10,000 a month, I was like, well, I'm going to make $10,000 a month because I want to make $10,000 a month. Like, who doesn't? You know what I mean? So it was November of 2022. And I was like, okay, I've never really made money off of this. I don't even make content because I want to make money. I was just so passionate about it and I loved impacting people so much. That's what bring out the true joy. It wasn't actually the idea that I'm going to make money in the future. It was literally just, I thought it was so fun. And I genuinely loved it with all my heart, which is why I'm so passionate when I make these videos. And I just loved content so much. But then I'm like, oh, 10K a month? That's a challenge. Why not just do it? And once again, in the back of my head, with nobody telling me, I fully didn't even believe. I just knew from right then and there. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to make 10K a month. That's going to just be, that's just like the future me speaking to myself. Like, you're going to make 10K a month. So it was November and I launched this thing where I was selling these puka shell necklaces with this dude. The dude was like, yeah, I'll just set it up for you. I got it. I'll do all of it. As long as you just promote it. And I was like, okay. And then I made $5,000 that first month. And I was like, $5,000 in a month? I was like, where's this money coming from? Because I've never made money in my life. But then I just made that. And I kid you not, that $5,000, I grew up poor, by the way, like with basically no money or anything. I've never been handed out anything. I've never just had access to money. But for some reason, when I made that $5,000, I was just kind of like, that's cool. Why am I not at 10K yet? And that was not me being ungrateful. I was so grateful. That was enough money for me to get through like the rest of high school. But I was like, I just know I'm going to hit 10K. So like, this isn't anything to go crazy over. Then December of that year, boom, I hit like 12K that first month. And I don't even know what it was, but it literally just felt like I had already predicted the future. I saw into the future. Like I saw through time exactly what I wanted. And it just came to me. So then I continued and this continued to happen over and over and over until it went really, really, really downhill. So I'm making all this money, right? And then eventually, and this is a lot more recent, I get to this place. I moved here to Miami from Virginia. So Virginia is like an irrelevant state. Like who cares about Virginia? And I moved here to Miami and I'm making the most money in my life. I'm getting the most views in my life. But then something happened. I was with a person, and I'm not going to say their name, who made me so sad and so internally upset that I lost it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie where they talk about mojo, like I lost my mojo, you lose your cool, you don't have that it factor anymore, right? And I'm thinking in my head, like, what is going on? And then I start looking into the future of like what I'm seeing, and I'm like thinking in my head, like, I don't deserve this. I shouldn't be the one making all this money. I shouldn't be doing all this. Mind you, I'm currently making the most money that I ever have in my life, getting the most views I ever have in my life. Everything is just up. Everything is up as opposed to where I was. But for some reason, it had been all destroyed in a very short time. And even though I'm getting these views, I feel like an imposter. I feel like I don't deserve it. Or at least that's what I felt like for the past like few weeks. And I don't know exactly what happened, but it was just this one person I talked to who just genuinely poisoned my brain into thinking I don't deserve it. Not because of anything they said about me, but because of what they were saying about themselves. And what that made me realize is that the things that you consume, the content that you watch, the things that you care about, impact you so much more than you understand. So when you're seeing this video, I want you to understand that it's possible. you have to believe in yourself, and anything you can do can work. But just to get back to the story, I just want to hopefully implant that in your head, because this is what this is all about. For the last few weeks, I feel like I lost it. Like everything. I feel like it's just over, and I'm just ready to give up. Like fully just give up. Even though nothing has gone down. I have no signs of stopping. But for some reason, my headspace is ruined until I saw this video on YouTube. I remember seeing this video. It was about self-concept. And what it told you is that you have to envision exactly what you want and understand that you are that. You are the person who is successful. You are the person who deserves to make that money. You are the person who gets the girls. You are the person who gets whatever you want out of life. You already are. You just have to find it. In my entire life, ever since I was a teenager in high school, I always thought this way until somebody really negative came in my life and made me think different. And I'm just thinking in my head, like, is this really true? And then I start reflecting on the past few weeks and like where I am mentally. And I realized the only thing that changed is the fact that I stopped believing in myself. I stopped thinking that I deserved it. And I lost who I was. I lost myself. And the concept of self-concept is just understanding that you are what you want. And for the past, I don't know, but as soon as I saw this video, it just clicked. My positivity shot up. So then I started to really deeply think about this. Why did I start thinking bad about myself, and what changed, and what do a lot of people do that makes them never achieve what they want out of life and never really feel fulfilled? And what that was for me is after I was around some negative people, I started saying negative things about myself. And in the same way that I would always say out loud, I believe in myself, I'm going to make this happen, I'm going to make 10K a month, I'm going to be successful on social media, I started saying things like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, whatever the case may have been. And I realized that those negative sayings and those negative words that I was saying literally programmed my mind the opposite as to what I was doing. Now, I'm so glad I figured out what self-concept was, because if I didn't, I would have gone down this negative spiral that most people do. I got so lucky that I call myself, because as soon as I figured this out, I started realizing that I can be anything I want, and things just start falling in place. And this is where it gets really weird. So as soon as I started believing this again about the fact that I can do whatever I want, and I am the person I am meant to be, and I have all the things that I want, and I simply just need to reveal them to myself. For example, I want to hit 1 million subscribers. I already mentally know I'm there. It's just how I'm going to get there is the question. And when you start thinking like this, it almost just programs your mind to make failure just not even an option, just because in your head you're already at this destination that you're going to achieve. One of the things that I really changed that made things so much easier is just telling myself that it's easy. Anything that's hard, easy, doesn't matter, not matter what the case is. When I have a task that I have to do, I just tell myself it's easy. Oh, it's going to be easy. Just do this. When people who are working for me ask me about something, I'm like, yeah, just do this. Even though I don't have any clue how to do a certain thing, the confidence that it built within myself to just fully believe that I have everything under control and that my life is mine and it's nobody else's, and nobody can tell me what to do with my life, and it's just me. It's only me. I'm the only person who dictates that. It becomes true. And when I see all these people around me, ever since I moved here to Miami, one thing I realized is that there's the people who win and there's the people who lose. And the people who win and really get whatever they want out of their life are just as delusional as me. And yes, I say delusional, that's seen as such a bad thing, but in a way, it's almost like you can convince your brain something that is not true and make it true. Doesn't that sound crazy? Could you imagine if that anything that you wanted out of life that's possible? Obviously, you're not just going to start floating, but let's say you want to make $1 million in a year. Just believe it. Believe whatever it is, and maybe, just maybe, you will convince yourself to such an extent that it just happens. Everything falls into place. You start watching the right videos, you start doing the right things. Day by day, you start just leading towards your subconscious goal. Because a lot of times what I realize is we operate on the subconscious level. It is not conscious thoughts. I'm going to go pick up this water bottle. That's a conscious thought. The subconscious thought is that I might get my hand wet when I touch that. I might do this, that, the other. Your subconscious is making a lot more thoughts and decisions day to day than your real conscious. That's what people don't understand. So when your subconscious is in the right mental state of the fact that you're going to make a lot of money, you're going to be successful, you're going to get that girl, you're going to get what you want, you're going to have a great day at school, you're going to have a great day every day. Just believe it. And you need to picture it like a stone. Back in the whatever it was, like 1200s, I don't even know, when people used to carve statues out of stone, you got to picture yourself as that stone, and you're just chipping away the edges. So you're already there. You are already the person you were supposed to be. You are simply chipping away at becoming that person. And the only way to do that is to fully believe it, become that person. And once you are that person, you then have to get rid of the rest. The negative thoughts, the things that you don't like about yourself. Just back when I used to play basketball, I remember I've always been horrible at basketball, absolutely god awful. I couldn't even dribble the ball. So when I was past the ball, my confidence was so low because I believed I was this bad that I would completely crumble and shake. And everything that I did when I had that basketball in my hand was not even to the level that I actually was. So don't get me wrong. Even looking back, I am still bad at basketball. I don't care that I'm bad at basketball. I'm never going to go to the NBA. That's fine. Whatever. But thinking back, I remember whenever somebody would pass me the ball and we're on the court, I'd be thinking in my head, what am I going to do wrong? Like, what's the next thing that I'm going to do? How can I keep myself from being extremely embarrassed? That's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, how am I going to make this shot? How am I going to do better than these other people around me? And it just led to this downward spiral of, I literally became worse simply by thinking I was worse. And this sort of basketball thing came to my head as well when I saw this self-concept thing. I probably was so much worse at basketball than I actually was just because of what was in my head. You realize that we live in our heads. That's where we are. You're there 24/7. When your friends leave you, when your girlfriend leaves you, whoever leaves you, it doesn't matter. You are always going to be there in your own head. Doesn't it need to be a clear space? Doesn't it need to be a positive space? Because the more positive and the more that you believe in yourself, who is anybody to tell you it's not going to work? When I was at school and everybody was making fun of me and telling me the things of like social media is a joke and that I need to go to college and I need to do this, there's nothing wrong with college, but I'm saying that these people didn't believe in me. And if I had not trained my brain subconsciously to believe that I was going to do this, those words would have worked on me. So don't let them. Don't let anybody's words work on you. Be the person that you want to be. You are that person, and get rid of the rest. Just simply think of it as that. Think of the fact that you need to chip away the edges of the stone. You're the stone, the statue is beneath, get rid of the rest. It's that simple. It will change your life. Every thought that goes through your head, try to make it positive, and over time it'll create an upward snowball the same way that recently I had this downward snowball. It will literally change you for the rest of your life, and I just hope so dearly that this reaches the right group of people, because if I didn't see those videos that convinced me to start doing social media and believe in myself, I don't know what I would have done. If nobody believes in you, I believe in you. Truly, fully, 100%. If you take this video and use it, I believe in you, and it is going to work with anything that you want. I promise you that. Believe it, see it, take the actions it takes you to get there, move towards your goals. It will work. I really hope this helped. I'll see you guys in the next one.